there's a clearing or something, so then we say, okay, I want to go that direction. So thanks to the light, we can really, make, what do you call it? Like, gain time. We gain time. We go in a straight line, we don't fall, we don't get scratched, we just, reach our destination that we chose. Because it was our idea, that's the way out of the forest, because we're trying to get out. But we're not going to the moon. We can't get to the moon, right? The moon is a little bit like Dharma or the Guru. We're not going to the Guru, we're not going to the Dharma. We're trying to understand ourselves. We're trying to discover our inner potential, right? We're trying to nourish ourselves in order to nourish others through wisdom and compassion. So sometimes it does create some confusion. Some people get lost in that way. They're like, oh, Dharma, 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 or religion or spirituality or this or the Guru, 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 Guru. And then somehow 30 years pass by and they're still, a little bit, they're not really sure what's going on, like if they're really advancing or not. And that's the thing, the more we focus outside, the further away we are from ourselves and from our inner potential. So it's very important to really see that, to really try to use it as a tool to go deep inside. When you understand yourself, then you can understand everything. When you understand your own reality, then you can understand the external reality too. So it's not about focusing outside, it's about focusing inside. And of course we have to focus outside in order to understand the inside too, right? Because that's also the process of life. It's an experience. We're like on a boat. This body is part of the experience. So your question was about about the teachers, many of the practitioners who practice for most of their life, and they train for the meditation of the clear light, they call it, which is after death. Once the heart stops beating and the lungs stop functioning, the body doesn't decay, it doesn't become, like, what do you call it, tieso, what is it, hard?
Stiff.
Stiff, yeah. Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish.
Okay. So it doesn't become stiff, it's very flexible, the body. And it smells good too, it doesn't smell bad. Some of these meditators, after they die, or the body, the physical body dies, they stay in meditation maybe for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even sometimes a month. And this happens very occasionally. Very often, sorry. It happens very often. Or occasionally, depending, I don't know, like, it's not every day, right? But there is many meditators who do that. Like, for example, my teacher, who passed away last year in August, he was like my father and my mother. He really raised me, literally, since I was 6 years old. Every day he gave me so much, all the time, so much compassion, so much love, and dedication, and patience. Oh my God. I was such a brat when I was a kid. I was a rebel, I was uncontrollable. And he has so much patience with me, oh my God. And through that patience, eventually I started to really, respect him and really love him and appreciate him. So when he said something, I would listen to him immediately. Because of that patience, because of that dedication, that love, that huge heart he had. And anyway, he passed away this last August. Suddenly, he just passed away. I think he got food poisoning, he started vomiting one night, and he had some heart difficulty. So I think because the food poisoning is something, the next day he was in the hospital and he just suddenly passed away, his heart stopped. And so he was for about a week in meditation, his body. And his teacher was for 3 weeks in meditation. I remember back when I was in the monastery, his teacher was for 3 weeks. Amazing. Really amazing. So basically the body is dead, physically dead, but the mind, the clear mind is still there. So there's a type of meditation that you do where it's not really using the body, it just stays in the body, so it's completely independent. It doesn't depend on the body to exist, to survive, let's say. So maybe it's not, I don't know how you could explain, maybe it's not so connected to samsara, to the emotions, to the thoughts, to all these conditions that we need. We need to drink water, we need to breathe air, we need food, we have many necessities. Like, for example, excess brings suffering. Like, for example, anything without moderation, we're not going to enjoy. In order to enjoy, we need moderation, right? I mean, that's how it is. Even water, if we drink excess water, we can die from it, Our stomach will just explode. So, I mean, like, if we want to enjoy, we have to do it in a moderate way, then we can enjoy. If we eat too much chocolate, it's not going to be delicious anymore. So we do have these conditions. And so when these meditators, they practice their whole life, When they die, every night they go to sleep, they're like practicing. The minute, like small death. And when they awake, they're also being reborn again. So life is just part of it. It's a learning. I mean, it's a school. Earth is a school. You could call it a school. So after, like, let's say a week, 3 weeks, then when they finish the meditation, then they leave the bodies. And somehow they ejaculate. They actually ejaculate. For a woman, I'm not sure what the case would be. But for the men, somehow that's what happens. And it's very interesting how after the clinical death, after a week or 3 weeks, still, they can actually ejaculate. It's amazing. And that's where the body leaves. And meanwhile, there's no smell. Like, from my teacher's teachers, for 3 weeks, they put, like, maybe they would wash him like that, and he would be flexible. And they would put, like, maybe some cotton in the nose and the ears, because maybe some liquid would come out. But that's it. So the mind, the clear light is still inside the body. But it doesn't depend on the body. So after that process, then they leave the body. But that's like people who've been practicing all their life for that case, for that death. But we all have the same potential. Buddha is an example. Buddha was a normal human being like us. With all the attachments and the fears, the jealousy, the greed, the unsatisfaction, all these things. But he decided to let go of the candy and take the hand out of the coconut. Which I mean, it's easy, we just have to recognize the attachment. We have to recognize how the mind plays tricks on us every day. Observe the emotions, observe the mind, and slowly start to detach from that. And through the wisdom and the compassion in action, then we can slowly do it. And every day, every moment is a chance, an opportunity to practice it. So we shouldn't think, we're so far away, like, they're so great, we're so small. No, I mean, we have the same potential. It's just maybe we're more lazy. And we're kind of lazy, actually. I'm really lazy. I'm super lazy. I like to sleep a lot. and I want to make myself believe it's very good meditation. Yeah. Let's see, maybe I can get some ideas from the notebook. Yeah, I mean, of course, like, happiness is very relative, right? For each person, we find the joy in different things, But but the real joy is to see other people happy. That's a real joy. When we really see the smile of the people, the gratefulness, their joy, their happiness, that's a real joy. Then that's where we can wow, feel the satisfaction. That's where we really feel good about ourselves. And we're not supposed to do it to feel good about ourselves. We're really supposed to genuinely do it for them. And then the result will be to feel good about themselves. So that's also karma. Karma really works with the intention. It can be the same action, but the intention really makes a big difference. For example, let's say, there's a story, for example, in the Buddha in the past life. In one of his lives, he was on a boat, and he found out about someone who wanted to kill 300 people on the boat. Right? And then, so out of great compassion, because he knew if he killed that person, he would go to the lower realms. But out of great compassion for the killer and for the victims, he decided to take it upon himself to kill the killer. Even though that would create the cause for him to go to the lower realms and to create a huge amount of bad karma. So with that compassion, with that intention, he killed that person. And many lifetimes later, when he was walking as the Buddha, he was walking on a path with one of his disciples. He stepped on a thorn. And then he told his disciples, see, this is the karma from having killed that person. And the disciples said, wow, but that's so minimum. I thought killing a person is much bigger than that. It's lifetimes of suffering in the hell realm. And he said, yes, my son. But the intention changed everything. Right? So when we actually do actions, when we have the mind, the speech, and the body. So the mind is at first, right? It's the beginning. Everything you see here started with a thought. Maybe besides the flowers, but even the arrangement of the flowers started with a thought. Everything. Tell me one thing that didn't start with a thought in here. Nothing, right? I mean, the flowers themselves, yeah, but the arrangement is also part of a thought. Everything started with a thought. Somebody had to have that idea. So that's how powerful thoughts are. Everything when you walk out the door and you go into the city, the buildings, the planes, everything started with a thought. That's how powerful thoughts are. So we really have to be careful with the thoughts. And then what follows the thought? The speech. We have a thought, we just talk very fast. Rah. The Sufis, they say, sometimes opportunities are like an arrow. Once you shoot an arrow, there's no going back. Just like when you say something fast without thinking. Once you say it, you can't take back what you said. Right? So that's why we have to be very aware of what we say. And how do we do that? By being aware of our thoughts, of the mind stream. So the thought first, then the speech, and then the body. So those three things, very important. And what's behind that? The intention. So what is the intention? To help other people. To help them to be more happy. Right? Because that's what we want for us. So that's compassion. To find that joy in us, but in other people. The real joy. So that's Dharma in a way, kind of, I think. So it's a method that will really work if you put it in practice. Every day. Yeah. So it's not really about the destination. You're talking about the destination, yeah? It's about the journey. It's about the journey. I mean, the destination, once you reach the destination, okay, yeah? You become Buddha, okay, then you have to dedicate your everything to helping other sentient beings, right? Yeah, but the journey is the same, The journey is what really we should focus on, not so much the destination. The destination is important to give it the purpose, the intention. But the real experience is the journey, the path. And it's happening every moment, every day. And here we are, right?
Is it like metta bhavana?
Sorry, what?
Metta bhavana?
Metta?
Metta bhavana?
What does that mean?
When you meditate about the people, you wish them happiness.
Yeah.
About
Bodhicitta.
the enemies, you wish them happiness.
Bodhicitta.
Yeah.
Wishing them joy.
Can I?
Please. Yeah, let's do question and answer better. Okay.
I stand up.
Okay.
Very nice that you are here.
Thank
that
you.
We have the opportunity to ask you some questions.
Thank you, of course.
And share some thoughts and ideas. You said it's a journey, life is a journey, it's a path, intention.
Yeah.
I have a metaphor that I would like to have some comments or reaction from you. A donkey who travels up the mountain doesn't come back as a horse. How about us? Study, try to interpret the ideas of Buddhist thinking. And still we get sometimes trapped.
Sometimes what?
Trapped in
Trapped.
old behavior and all constantly, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a journey. And where does it end?
Here. Now.
And it's the beginning.
It's the beginning.
But you understand what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I
Travel
understand.
up the mountain as a donkey doesn't come back as a horse.
Yeah, yeah.
How
But
about us?
It's a little bit like, okay, let's make the donkey is a great example, but like, how about coal? Coal. Did you see the old Superman movie? I remember when I was a kid, it really impacted me that scene where Superman is flying around the planet and he goes around the planet a lot of times and makes the time go back or something like that. And then he saves the world and then he's like, okay, I want to get a diamond ring for my girlfriend. So he goes to this coal mine, and he takes a piece of coal, puts it in his hand, squishes it with his hand, and then opens the hand and there's a diamond in his hand. You know? And you know like coal, with enough time and enough pressure, eventually it becomes a diamond. At least that's a theory, right? So, it doesn't look like a diamond at the beginning, but after billions of years, time, pressure, a lot of millions of tons of pressure. That's how the mineral, it becomes a diamond, you know? And then they work it, and then, oh wow, it's a beautiful diamond, oh, and then you put it on a ring, and then wow, 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 wow. But originally it was a cool piece of coal. Just like, for example, maybe from the darkest clouds, really dark clouds, suddenly the purest rain falls. There's this saying in Spanish, it came to my mind. I don't know if it's, please don't get offended, okay? But in Spanish we say, de tanto pensar que murió un burro. It means from so much thinking, the donkey died. I don't know. I don't know, I don't want to be offensive, but sometimes, you know, this type of thinking of saying, oh, you know, it's limiting ourselves, you know? I mean, actually, in a way, the education system in society does educate us to be like donkeys or like sheep. You know, I mean, we follow. I mean, they do kind of. Our creativity kind of disappears because we are scared of making mistakes, so we limit ourselves already. And we have this pattern of following what's written in the book. That's right. That's how the reality is. This is a correct thing. But actually, we're much more than donkeys and sheep. You know, we are potentially Buddhas. You know, so, and in education, I think it's important to see that maybe they teach us, they educate us on how to work, but there's a big piece missing, which is how to live. You know, how to take care of ourselves, how to be aware of the energies, cause and effect. How to take care of our bodies through diet, through nutrition, through exercise. I mean, nowadays there's a lot of different types of education that are really helping us to understand this and to grow as human beings. So that's very lucky, but it's good to inform ourselves and to be aware of that. And not always be stuck in the habit, you know, the patterns. Oh, this is how it has been, so it's going to be like that all the time. Things change. Sometimes life can surprise you, you know? And we tend to be in our comfort zone, you know, like, oh, this is my comfort zone, I'm chill, relaxed. And until something big doesn't happen, we don't really move, we don't really make an effort to change or do something. You know, so before life hits us really hard, if we can actually stand up and try to get out of the comfort zone and do something, it's better. Because if we're lucky enough, otherwise, life will really hit us hard. And then that's when we will wake up, oh, you know, I have to do something. You know, but otherwise we're just chilling in the comfort zone. We're just lazy. We tend to be like, oh, it's always been like that, oh, let me just chill more, you know, it's okay. One more day. We don't have much time, you know, we really have to move on. We have to make an effort. And if we think we're donkeys, then we're always going to be donkeys. You know, we're not. We're not donkeys. We're human beings with a huge potential, and we have big purpose and a big job and a big opportunity and potential. So we really have to not limit ourselves in that way. We really have to see ourselves as Buddhas. That's why in many meditations, part of the meditation is to visualize ourselves as deities, as a Buddha. You know, and each Buddha represents a good quality in a human being. So, for example, compassionate Buddha, wisdom, things like that. So if we visualize that Buddha, we're visualizing that good habit, that good quality in ourselves, which we already have it. Like his one is in the Kala Chakra in Bodhgayana. He was talking about how some babies, newborn children, like just 5 months old, they don't speak or anything. But they did an experiment. They showed them photos of like children, maybe one child taking the ball from the other. When they showed that photo, they would frown. Maybe one child pushing the other one. And the baby, when they showed that photo, he would frown. But when they showed a baby hugging another baby or giving them an apple, each other, he would smile. You know? So even at 5 months old already, they have this ability and this innate, natural, capacity of really recognizing empathy, and love, and compassion, and sharing, and all these things. So it's already inside of us. We are born with that. We are born pure. Even though many times we have the imprints and the patterns from past lives. It comes with it. So also we have to learn to recognize that and to change. So it's not easy. It's a challenge, but it's interesting. If there was no challenge, it would be boring, right? I mean, if there's no mystery, what's the point? We already know what's going to happen when we die. If we already know, then there's no mystery. It's not juicy. It's not so interesting. We like it to be more interesting. So mystery is good, I think, and challenge is also good. To challenge ourselves. So don't limit yourself. Okay. Any more questions or comments? Yes, please.
Can you please tell the name of your teacher?
Geshe Gendun Chumbel. Gendun Chumbel. Gendun Chumbel. Yeah. He was amazing. He was 73 when he passed away. More questions, please? No? One more, okay?
Yeah, it's maybe, I know a few people here who are, first of all, welcome, and thanks very much that you came.
Thank you so much.
I noticed some people like myself in the public that use certain programs from the FBMT, like the 16 guidelines, or from Pam Caton.
Yeah, Tower School, yes.
I noticed a few here that are busy doing that sort of stuff, like myself.
Good.
I just wondered if you had any advice along those lines, because I'm very interested in those programs, because it sort of takes it doesn't take it out of the Buddhist culture, but puts it in this sort of what Lama Yeshe said, universal education, that sort of stuff. And I'm just wondering if you had any advice at all on how you best do that. Or
where are you from?
I'm originally from the Bahamas.
From the Bahamas? Wow, must be nice there, huh? Is it cold here?
It's bloody cold.
Thank you for that question. Very interesting. Yeah, so I think it's very helpful, the 16 guidelines. And I mean, all the information is really, really helpful. It's really good to have it, and it's a great opportunity. But we have to also kind of understand it from our own perspective, because each of us have a different perspective in life, so each of us understand it in a different way. So it's good to get information from everywhere and then try to filter it and see what is helpful for you and what is not. So just because it's written there, you don't have to push and hit your head really hard and be like, no, I must absorb this. This has to work for me. It doesn't necessarily have to work for everybody. The Buddha taught different paths, different techniques for different people. So it's not like one path for everybody. Like everybody has to find also their own kind of what works for them, what they identify with. What attracts them. But eventually we're all we're all going to the same place. So yeah. So anyways.
Thank you.
Look. Yeah. So anyways, maybe we should wrap it up. Don't want to make you too tired. Don't want to make it too late. Many of you have to work tomorrow. I just want to thank you so much for coming here, and I want to thank also the center, Maitreya. Really want to thank the center Maitreya, which has been here for how long? 20 years. In Amsterdam. 20 years in Amsterdam. And thanks to everybody who's a community, thanks to everybody who comes to the center and who supports the center and who participates in the center. So thanks to all of you, this center has been able to be here. And it's a means for many people to really understand life, learn about life, find their own potential, and really maybe find happiness and help other people to find happiness too. So I really want to thank you, all of you, as a community. And please keep, helping Maitreya Center, Maitreya Instituut, is it Institute? Because I think without you, there is no Maitreya Institute. So please, and by being part of the community and participating, it also helps for the next generations to also be introduced to that and to be able to, have that opportunity. Especially in Amsterdam, many people are very anxious. There's a lot of stress. We're bombarded by entertainment and like narcotics, external agents that what do you call it? Intoxicants that change the perception of our mind. I mean, maybe it can be helpful. I'm not sure sometimes to kind of see a different perspective, but in the end, it's just putting more samsara on top of samsara. So it's not really that helpful. It's much more important to really be who you are instead of running away from who you are. It's not. I think sometimes like addicts who take drugs or alcoholism or like nicotine, tobacco, all these things, in a way, it's a representation of a conflict that we have inside. And the conflict, so many times, it comes because we don't have a sense of belonging. We don't have this sense of purpose. Of being useful in a way. So, we really have to find that. And if somehow we are addicted to something like that, we have to recognize, first step, we are addicted. Second step is, okay, so what can I do to fill that gap up, fill that space up? So what do I do to really feel part of something? What is my purpose? How can I belong? How can I be useful? So also the center, in a way, is a community to help people like that. And it's our responsibility also in life, in society, to be able to support each other, to give ourselves each other attention and help and love. Just walking in the street, it's good to look at people in the eyes. It's good to smile. Why wouldn't you smile? Smile to people. It doesn't matter. If they don't smile back, it's okay. At least they saw that smile. That's going to change the day, Ask the people a question when you go to eat something, when you're going somewhere public. Someone who's working in a public place, like the person who sells you a ticket or the person who's serving you food. Ask them, how's your day? What time did you come in? How many hours do you got left to get out? Ask them questions like that. That'll make them feel happy. It makes them feel like you care for them. Many times in the city, people feel nobody cares for them. We're all together, we're walking on the streets, but we feel so lonely. So it's good to ask questions. It's good to look at people and smile at them and talk to them and care for them. That it may change the day, it may even change their life. Who knows what that person's going through? So anyways, small details, many small details make the big detail. So just be aware of the small details. Yeah. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for supporting the community. And keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Actually, Osel said a lot of the things. I want to do two things as a conclusion. And one thing was to thank you. Thank you very much for coming. And to thank everybody who's here this evening. and to thank and to invite. So, to invite Ösel to come back again.
Already?
Ah!
That was fast.
And also to invite, indeed, as Osel already has actually, to invite everybody to come. For the people who don't know Maitreya Instituut Amsterdam, it's about 5 minutes from here. It's very close. And we have great teachers. We have a great program. So, you're all invited. And also, please don't forget, I was asked to remind people that tomorrow Osel's going to go to Lunen, to Maitreya Instituut in Lunen, and have lunch there, but also to have a tea with people and have like just a chat, an informal tea and talk. So if people are interested in going, they're all invited to go at 3 o'clock to Lunen. So, I wanted to thank people. Yeah? What? Oh. See? Continuing the thanking and inviting. Okay, thank you.
Last thing, I wanted to do some publicity. I have a public Facebook page. Do you want to like it? That would be wonderful. I always share things, and it's good to be connected, you know. So the name is Osel Hita, O-S-E-L space H-I-T-A. So that's my Facebook page. Small page, but I like to share things, you know. I would love you to be able to be part of it, you know. Be nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I wanted to offer these to you.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Maybe you'll develop loving compassion.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.